Hello and welcome back to Bourbon Barrel Talk. I'm your host, Scott Minton, and we are chilling in the bourbon bunker of the Minton Casa de Minton. That's what it is, Casa de Minton. I forgot what I call my own damn house. I'm a nerd. What's up with that?
It's been a
There
while
can
for
be
you.
two bourbon bunkers.
There are multiple bourbon
Yeah,
bunkers.
multiple, yeah.
But it's bourbon bunker, but it's at Casa de Minton.
It's just been a hot minute since you've been here.
That's right. Mi casa es su casa. That's what I say. My house is your house. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Let's go.
Oh, is that what that means?
Yeah, mi casa es su casa.
I'm
My house is your home.
I know. I knew what that meant.
All right, good deal. It's all right. Anyway,
I was.
just smack him.
He's trying to do his opening, Jared. Shut up.
I don't care. Anyway, so today...
He doesn't care until he beats the crap out of me later.
That's later. No big deal. So we are diving into some Michter's 10, the single barrel bourbon and the single barrel rye. So they are... Actually, I guess they're not really single barrels. They're actually batch bourbon, but they are tasty, delicious, but we are going to review these. These are both from 2020, and they are out of which batch? Let's see. The bourbon is batch 12089, and what's the rye, Carl?
20E964.
There you go. All right, so those are our Mick 10s. We're going to drink them. We're going to tell you what we think, and then we're just kind of go from there. So
The nose on this is really nice.
oh, dude, I love Michter's 10s. They are just so good.
Fruity.
The
It's my
bourbon,
first time having a Michter's 10, so
Really?
I'm very excited about it.
popping
as well.
that cherry. I like it.
Oh, daddy.
Ooh, daddy. So
Can we get your dog to kill him now?
we can. So Michter's, like, the big rumor is all these Mick 10s are all Old Forester. Like, they are Old Forester barrels that were basically, before Old Forester started releasing some of their old juice, they, basically sourced it out and sold it to Michter's so that way they could get their brand up and running.
Okay.
Which is why kind of the rumor is that the Mick 10 and the Mick 10 Ryes are going to go away because they don't have this juice anymore, or they've maybe bought enough. They bought enough to kind of last, but not very much for very much longer until their juice becomes mature enough to release at that point.
Not a continuation year to year where they can
Exactly.
just pump out the 10. Yeah.
So, all right, what do we got on the nose on this bad boy? Anybody want to go first?
I think it's strong
fruit.
fruit.
Yep,
Floral.
Little char.
a little char, some oak for sure. Yep. What fruit are you getting on this?
Well, now you're just asking way too much of my palate. That's like asking a toddler to do calculus.
I mean,
It's not citrus. It's almost like a berry, like a darker berry.
yeah, I'm getting dark fruit. I'm getting like a.
I was almost
maybe
getting
like a
banana
plum
for some strange
cherry.
reason.
I was gonna say light fruit.
It's really.
That's what I was gonna say, but my palate isn't as distinct.
Let me go to the left nostril.
But I eat more bananas than I do most other fruits. So
So you say go to the left nostril. My left nostril is the darker fruit, or is a darker tone. But
Right.
My right nostril, I think, is the lighter tone. But that's just me.
Jeez. I just have a regular nose.
You just got a regular nose?
Yeah.
I've got one nostril that works.
Picks
So
up
you
one or two
can't
things.
smell.
What?
You have a regular nose, so you can't smell. Because I know your nose, and you can't smell nothing.
I didn't say I was a peasant.
Oh man, these are delicious.
Yes, they are.
It's awesome.
Caramel, vanilla. It's got a little bit of like what I would call maybe like the tiniest bit of like cherry,
That's what I was thinking. Is like just a little bit hint of cherry.
just a hint of cherry. Get some nice
Well, you all know
tobacco
with me and
notes.
cherry, I can sometimes pick it right up, and sometimes it completely disappears altogether. So,
That's true.
yeah,
That is true.
it's blended so well between that sweetness and the oakiness,
So I
and
wonder.
that fruit does come through.
So a little dark chocolate on the back end.
I wonder if there's anything that's older than a 10-year in this fruit.
So yes, so the other rumor is that a lot of these are a blend of 12, 13, 14-year-old bourbons. So that's the reason when they did the very first single barrel, when they auctioned that thing off for charity, they said when they went in and picked it, they could not find a barrel that was younger than 13 years old.
wow,
And that was after Mick 10 had already been being released for a while. So I think some of the newer stuff had already been somewhat released, but I think they ultimately ended up choosing a 14-year, 6-month or something like that for that single barrel. And I think the price was like over $200,000 for the rights to buy that one barrel. It was all money raised for charity. So
Hey, went to a great cause.
My lord! But went to a great cause.
so you got to think though. I think the rumor was that I think they got like 135 bottles. So how much a bottle was that?
more than I could ever afford.
Over $2,000 a bottle. That's right. Nick can do math. Nick's in the background today. We appreciate him and Barbara. They showed up.
I didn't care to try to do the math.
They
I put a bunch of Skittles on the floor, and Nick
They-
counted
they-
all of them in 5 seconds.
They didn't want to. They didn't want to miss the inaugural show up at my house after all the remodels were done.
I get licorice.
Licorice?
Yeah.
Really?
I could get that.
Where at, Barbara?
It's about the
Mid-palate.
palate.
I get something that I could say I get where she's coming from. That's the reason I said when she said it, I was like, I maybe get a little bit out on the mid palate.
Maybe molasses a little bit,
See,
or
I
something
would,
to that effect.
yeah, I would almost put it more in that ballpark, like something that like would be a dark sweetness. But I can
don't know.
see where
you
you're
and I
coming
have
up
a
with.
pretty similar palate, and I'm getting a little bit. It could be an
And I'm
anise
getting
kind
more
of
sweet on
something.
the very front.
Right. So, all right, good deal. All right, so.
It's just hearty. It's warming. It's hearty. It's flavorful.
And the great things about these is they've got a lot of flavor profile, and they come in, I mean, these are only, 95 proof, 94,
Yeah.
94.4?
And they just last forever.
They do. They've got a great
they linger.
Kentucky hug. They've got a lot of mouthfeel. They're just a solid pour overall for sure. So, all right.
I was watching something. What was I watching? And someone said,
So does anybody know what
lady
Michter
said-
stands for?
"Are you kidding me? I was going to have a great story there."
Okay, well, you go with it.
Okay,
no,
Barbara.
Tell me a story.
Fucking forgot. No.
Wow,
okay.
potty mouth. You kiss
Hey.
your mother with that mouth?
I can't say on the radio
Anyway.
what I want to say to you.
All right, so anyway, Michter's. Tell us what it stands for. Come on, you got it. Tell us the story. Come on, John. Give
Oh,
it
I
to
had
me.
nothing to do with Michters. I was
Oh.
talking else.
Oh, you were talking about something else? Okay,
Yeah.
so Michter's, it is actually the first two names of both the sons of the guy that started the company, Michael and Peter. So it's the front of Michael's name, and it's Peter with the end of Peter. So Michter's. So that's how the name came about.
Was their production on the riverfront near? Since it's near Evan
I
Williams
think
now.
Michter's originally was in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's a Pennsylvania.
Yeah, they were originally a Pennsylvania company.
It's up near the
Pennsylvania Rye.
Quaker section of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
and just
so-
moved their distillery down here.
Well, the brand was bought
Yeah.
out.
So
brought
when the
down
new
here.
owners bought it, they bought out the naming rights and everything else. Nick's going for the water out of the
Because they hadn't
cup.
produced Michter's in a little bit.
No, they didn't. They didn't produce it for I want to say like 80 or 90 years. I mean, it was a long
Yeah.
time. I mean, all this was like pre-Revolutionary War, bottles and everything else. So they've been around for a hot second. So I tell you what, you guys killing me over here
For science,
I'm
for science. So
we're
yeah.
adding just a touch of water.
it gets a lot brighter.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does.
My thought.
I get a lot
brighter.
more of the cherry now.
Oh, we can finally get cherry, huh?
Da, 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 da.
So the rye pops though when you put the water in it,
Yeah.
on the nose especially.
Nose, and then
It's a little
I
more
get it on the
sweet up
back
front
palate.
with the nose.
Yeah, the cherry does pop a little bit more once you add a little water.
But the rye comes out a lot more than
Yeah, the rye takes over in the I would say more of the front palate, like the
Yeah.
front to mid.
I prefer this definitely neat.
Neat for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Michter's rye. What do we get? Dive in on those noses. I'm going to finish off this Michter's bourbon while you all are sniffing, getting those noses in there deep.
I smell rye.
You smell rye?
Yeah.
I'll
Is
be
that-
Jared to that comment.
I was say earlier before we started this, I had the same thought. It smells like a rye.
So
Sorry.
no, you're all good. Definitely rye.
Oh,
A little bit of fruit.
Interesting rye.
Does it have a little bit of butter to you? Like a buttery?
Something, yeah.
I don't
Maybe
know that I
like
get
a
necessarily
toffee?
butter. Yeah, I'm getting like what I would say is like more of like a sweetness. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I could see where you're saying like a toffee is like butter and sugar, right? So I'm not saying I don't get butter. I just don't necessarily get like butter like as in full on butter.
Yeah.
But
I get that like more than a caramel would.
Yep.
It would kind of be in that buttery.
there's a floral note in there too that I really really like.
that
It's
what
super
that is?
delicate.
See, I was thinking it was like almost kind of like similar to a scotch, a scotch a little
What,
bit or
like
something.
a peat or something?
No, not peat, but like like it has that weird distinct.
Just has that floral note that.
And maybe it's
a lot of
just the
scotches might
florals.
have.
It might be the malt you're thinking. Maybe you're picking up some of the
Maybe.
malt off that. I don't know.
There's something.
Do we know what the mash bill is on this?
No, we don't. Like I said, the rumors is that it is Old Forester. So if that's the case, it's 72, 18, 10. So there's also rumors that it could have been early times.
That was really impressive, Scott. That you just Zip those numbers.
72, 18, 10.
He loves old folk.
Yeah.
I do
We
love
wouldn't know
some
that by
Old
the counter behind him.
I have no Oak Forester. What are you talking about?
No,
Have you reinforced that?
he has all
that desk?
Jim Beam products down here.
That's
It's
right.
The only thing we're drinking
That's
outside
right.
of these Michters is Jim Beam.
That's right.
Did you get a little peppery note on the end?
Thistle?
I could see where the hay comment comes from.
Maybe Heather?
Ooh, Heather. That might. I'm not hating on that one. It's been a while since I've had.
I don't know what
Heather?
Heather smells
Heather-
like.
Thank you. I don't know what
The Den of Thieves
is.
had
Yeah.
no freaking clue
Yeah,
what
well-
that was.
How about witch hazel?
Now you're just fucking with us.
No, I
Nick.
actually get that one.
Yeah, I actually do.
I can too.
Now that he said that, yeah, I can. It's on the nose, though. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's on the nose.
I'm sorry, I get rooster's ass on the nose here. Fucking witch's thistle, my fuck.
good
John.
Lord, John. I can't take you anywhere. All right. Anyway, all right, dive in. Let's get a pull.
A little bit of malt, or at least that's what I'm getting. A little bit of
Agree with
rye.
that.
Oh,
But-
sweet, nice, robust. It's got a beautiful mid palate. It's got some caramel. Got a little bit of vanilla.
Yes.
I get some
kinda-
Anison, like the Anison cookie or something to that effect in the
Oh,
taste.
like anise? You mean like licorice?
Yes.
Anison? That's an aspirin, dude.
No. Okay, my family calls it Anison.
This is Carl's aspirin. This is what they did for him when he stubbed his toe. Here, have a shot.
Anison
Michters.
distributor. What other
A
words? do we
springly.
wanna-
Let's just call it
Anis-
a springly. How about that?
There you go. A
Spring
early.
early.
Spring early. Damn. I mean, you're even German and you can't get this shit right. What is wrong with you?
I got no clue anymore.
Keep having.
He's
him
been
on
in the
here.
Ohio Valley too long.
He
Scott,
has really been in the Ohio Valley too long.
This is why we can't have nice things.
This is exactly why we cannot have nice things. Carl can't say anything right. Yeah. So I don't know that I get anise or springerlings or
Anison.
or Anison for sure. I definitely don't get aspirin. But I so for me, I'm getting
I get a little Tylenol.
I'm getting a touch of mint, just a touch of mint, and then I'm getting a little bit of like it's a really really delicate floral note, but I'm really having a hard time picking up on the mid palate what that is. Because I was gonna say at first I was gonna say honeysuckle, but I don't think it's quite that. It's something a little bit more like almost like violet. Like did you ever have violet in your eggs? We've already had this kind of discussion, I think, before.
Yeah,
Me
the
and-
three of us have.
Yeah. So
I remember
anyway,
this conversation too.
yeah, listening to the podcast. So yeah, so like it almost has like almost like that earthiness that like you get from like field like grass greens
like
or
a
field
field
greens.
flower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but it's delicious. I mean, I just absolutely love this pour.
You're turning violet, Violet. That's what I thought of when he said violet.
Oh my God. Yeah. The Willy Wonka.
Yep.
Yeah. Violet Beauregard. Daddy, I want it.
I thought he was gonna make some like. I thought he was just gonna totally just diss me there.
No,
but then he was
I-
like, "Oh, I know what you're talking about."
I know. it.
Hey, wait a minute.
I love Willy Wonka.
Appreciate it.
This is the
movie.
first time Jared's referred to a movie that's older than him.
That's exactly right.
Yes,
But with all fairness, he probably meant the Johnny Depp one.
Yeah. Say, did you know there
No,
was
I
an
hope to
original
God
film?
He probably
I
didn't.
don't
He probably
actually
didn't.
know if I've seen the Johnny Depp one.
Oh, really? So you've seen the Gene Wilder, the OG.
I've seen the Gene Wilder.
Okay.
one. Yeah.
Oh, hot dang. Look at Jared.
Now I'm gonna tell you.
He spread his little wings.
No.
Chirpy,
yeah. No, I
chirp,
haven't seen
chirpy,
the.
chirp.
I've seen bits and pieces of the John.
I actually haven't seen
Of
the
Don
Johnny Depp
Johnson?
one because
No.
I absolutely refuse to watch it.
So I can't.
Even though I probably should because I really like Tim Burton. And I tell you, one of my new favorite things that Tim Burton is Wednesday on Netflix. If you've not seen that,
it's really good.
It's
I've heard
fantastic.
good.
It's fantastic.
I've not watched it yet.
I don't know what the actress was nominated for, but she was nominated for a Golden Globe.
Yeah.
The actress who plays Wednesday.
So
Actually, the rye sort of dies down a little bit on the front and the mid. It
I
picks
haven't
up a
even
little bit on
tasted
the.
it, but the nose,
rear.
the rye went.
Okay, this is on the taste.
I mean, you're literally right next to a mic, Barbara. I mean, if you're gonna talk, I mean, at least get on there.
I told you that you could get on the mic whenever you wanted to.
You just got to dial in. Jeez, oh Pete, I
All
tell you
right.
what.
So I added a couple of drops of water. The rye disappears on the nose for me. Now I have not tasted it yet, but the nose is no longer rye. I'm getting a whole
can't
lot
wait
of
to turn.
floral and sweet.
I get where you're coming from for sure.
I get the sweetness.
I'm still trying to figure out because you had said mint earlier, and I'm definitely getting something that's ferny, earthy, but has that sourness
Yeah.
to it.
So for me, that's more like a what I would call like more like a spearmint or a double mint gum like type like flavor to it. It's not like peppermint or anything like that. Yeah, yeah, like Andy's mints.
the
yeah.
green mints.
Yeah, like a green. Yeah, the green mint.
mints,
Yes. So
I didn't get that before, but just letting it even sit. really help bring that out.
Absolutely. All right.
I'm not as much of a rye guy, but for a rye, I do actually really enjoy this.
Oh, this.
So for a rye, you really enjoy this. Okay. That's okay.
So something that's
what did
not
I
overly
say?
rye.
Nothing. None. It's hard for me as somebody that loves ryes and loves rye forward bourbons for somebody to say, well, I'm not really crazy about ryes. But yet a lot of the stuff that I bring and a lot of stuff that you try are almost all like high rye stuff, like a lot of rye.
So I like high rye bourbon, but straight rye whiskeys, I'm not.
You're not a big fan of?
I'm not
Gotcha.
as much. It depends on them.
Right.
Though I
depends
think
on
pretty
it.
much every one of them that you brought, he's liked.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
You know his ticket number.
Haven't heard him complain
because
once.
Scott brings good ryes.
I've never seen
ryes
him
I
like,
drink
"Oh, I'm
are
not
terrible
drinking this
ryes."
Maybe
trash.
these are just rise outside of your normal
I'll
price
try.
range.
I'll
Jared.
try anything.
No, that's what she said. All right. Anyway. All right. So I'm gonna polish this off. I put a little water in it. I'm not a big fan with water.
Yeah, I take
these
it
have
neat.
to be.
These
neat.
are all low proof for a reason. They've designated these bottles. They've pretty much perfected these. I think. I don't even know that I would try this over rocks or anything else, but
I don't think it really needs it.
for sure it does
I don't
not.
think it would water it down too much.
Not at
I
all.
think it's such a good drinker.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. All right, we got to pick a W.
Bourbon.
Rye.
Right.
Bourbon, rye, bourbon.
Nick's is the bourbon.
You know, honestly, even though I love the Michter rye, out of these two particular batches, I think I'm going to go bourbon.
Don't
Oh my
do it.
goodness, Now we're
Yeah,
at
so
a
we are split
stalemate.
decision. So it's okay. I mean, it happens that way.
They're so close, though.
They're very. Both of them are excellent pours.
You're
Absolutely.
talking like a point or two off.
I will tell you, if I was putting this up, if I put this 20 Michters up against the 2019 Michter's rye, the 10 rye, I probably would have taken the rye. But to me, the bee's knees of all of them, if I remember, I want to say it's the 2016 bourbon. Oh my God, it's like one of
I've not
the
had that
best Michter's 10s that I've ever tried. I mean, it's absolutely phenomenal.
I think
It's
I've had
delicious.
the 18 rye and the 19 bourbon.
There you go. So, but as you try them, and they usually release them like kind of every year, like one after the other, and sometimes they'll overlap a little bit. Like these overlapped. I think these came out early in 20, these came out the end of 20. So, but just kind of nice. All right, Jared, you got something going on over there, man? Sniffy sniff.
Just smelling the empty glasses.
Oh yeah, I mean,
They're
dude, tobacco,
delightful.
like all kinds of stuff.
See, the
Little bit of
bourbon,
leather.
though, the bourbon. I think there's more leather on the bourbon.
Yeah, leather.
Yeah.
But there's a strong rye note, I think, on the bourbon one, on the empty glass bourbon.
Yeah. But the rye has that nice rye too. But you're
yeah.
right, the bourbon has that leather, a little bit of rye,
Smell that
tobacco. It's got a lot of tobacco. Yeah. So I don't know. All right, so we split decision on the Michter's 10s, the good old fashioned their bourbons there, pre-Revolutionary War. So that's our episode of Bourbon Barrel Talk this time. If you want to find us, you can find us on the old Facebook, the Instagram, and the Twitters. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. That way, anytime those episodes are sent out, you get them automatically. This is Scott, Barbara, Jared, John, Nick, and Carl signing off. Peace out.
See ya.
Timothy's for life.